everyone, my name is Zachary as always, and today I am talking about Kang the Conqueror. I just now rewatched Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and, well, I think it's important to talk about Kang because, well, I mean, a lot of things have been happening in the MCU regarding Kang and his switches. So, or his switches up to Doctor Doom. So, well, we're just going to cover the Kang character and everything. So, Kang the Conqueror. So, we weren't introduced to him as Kang. We were actually introduced to him as this man named He Who Remains. But comic book fans will note that this is actually somebody named Kang the Conqueror, which we ended up seeing in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And since this is just the first appearance, we heard a lot about what he did, but we didn't actually see it, which was a little bit disappointing, but still, I think this sets up a lot. And I think what a lot of people have the problem with the version in Quantumania is that he seemed very weak and not built up to who the Kang the Conqueror character actually is. But here's my argument. I don't think that that Ant-Man should have been the one. I don't think the next Thanos of the MCU, or who was going to be the next Thanos of the MCU, I don't think they should have introduced him in something like an Ant-Man film, because Ant-Man movies are like smaller movies that usually don't connect to the bigger plot, and they usually, most times, they're self-contained stories. But here, if you don't watch this one, this basically starts off the next big part of the MCU, sets up the next Thanos. By the next Thanos, I mean the next big bad, which is going to be, is Kang the Conqueror, but that's kind of waning right now. We don't actually know if it will be Kang the Conqueror. Anyways, so then after this in Quantumania, we teased him was a teaser for Loki Season 2, which we saw him as Victor Timely, one of Kang's many variants. Because in the show, we saw his variant of Victor Timely, and not a lot happened with him because he kind of got absolutely wrecked by temporal radiation and got turned into spaghetti. But he still was an interesting appearance. Anyways, but in Quantumania, like it or not, we did get a lot of Kang in there. The Council of Kangs, that was extremely important because now we get to see more and more Kangs be brought into the MCU from the comics. Because if you don't know, when we first saw the Council of Kangs in that post-credit scene, the three Kangs that we saw, they're like the Egyptian one, the like a more robotic one, and like this just other one. Yep, them three are from their own separate comics, and they're branching over into this one to form this Council of Kangs, which I think is very cool. And I'm excited to see what they'll do with Kang. I really hope if Jonathan Majors is guilty, yeah, throw him out. But if he's not, keep him. But if he is, just recast him. I think something they could easily do is recast him, or heck, use a different variant of Kang that doesn't need to show his face. Like, that was the good thing about Thanos. He didn't need to show his face because he was just a CGI mech, pretty much. He was like the Hulk, just a big CGI amalgamation. Still though, we get to see a lot of Kang. I'm excited to see what they do with him, because in the comics, I've actually been reading the comics little by little, and I think there's still a lot they could do with him and expand on his character and his several variants, but it is going to take years to set up. Like, getting the Kang Dynasty and then the Secret Wars is going to take a lot, and we're going to have to get a lot more on him. Hopefully we'll get that in the coming years. Because reportedly, 2024, the only movie that's going to be in there is Deadpool 3. I'm excited for Deadpool 3, but not so excited for it to be the only 2024 MCU movie, but that's a video for another day. Actually, it's old news, probably not a video for another day, but yeah, there's just a lot they could do with Kang. I just wanted to cover Kang the Conqueror in this YouTube video. If you all enjoyed this video or any of my other content, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.